everyone, I'm Emily and I'm a procrastinator. Maybe you are one too, or maybe you don't even know what procrastination means. But I'm glad you came to this video because I'm going to explain you the meaning, and this will help you figure out what kind of procrastinator you are. So, let's start. First of all, I want to clarify that this has nothing to do with drugs or addictions. This is the most normal thing that a human can do. So let's start. Procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing a task or set of tasks. When you refer to procrastination, it means the force that prevents you from doing or from following through on what you set out to do. There are two words that are very important when we are talking about procrastination. These words are delaying and postponing. You see, they pop up just like this: delaying and postponing. Remember, procrastination is equal to delaying and postponing. So keep this in mind. For the next things that I'm going to talk about are going to be really related to these two meanings. What causes procrastination is not the desire to avoid work, it's the desire to avoid feelings, specifically negative emotions. We say that procrastination is about mood regulation. So a task may elicit lack of confidence, feelings of incompetency, insecurity, fear of failure, anxiety. So you put that task aside and you've just regulated your mood. Now you feel better. Now you feel good. It's like, oh, great. I don't have to think about it anymore. And it's like that. And sometimes we feel bad for thinking that we are avoiding work. But do you want some proof that you are just not avoiding work? Well, take a look at the activities that you are doing while you are procrastinating. Some of those activities take a lot of energy and effort to be done. So you will see some chronic procrastinators. They will have the neatest houses. Everything will be clean, the dishes will be done, everything will be organized. But the big looming activities that they have to do isn't being done yet. So I have a friend and we were talking and she said, I haven't done that homework. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll help you. But why haven't you? And she said, I haven't done that homework because I've been reading books. I read 3 books in a month. And I was like, amazing. My mind blew in that moment. Imagine this situation. You don't want to stress yourself by doing homework, so you read 3 books instead. That's amazing. She was really productive in that time. While she was procrastinating, she was reading books. So that's perfect. Me, on the other hand, I waste my time a lot. Like when I'm procrastinating, the things that I do, well, I don't read books. I just watch episodes of a series. I read the biographies of famous people. I don't know why, but I love doing that. I take my dog out for a walk. Well, I do everything but using my time in a productive way. So I really have to learn from my friend because she read 3 books in a month, and I think that's amazing. So I think that procrastination is not that bad. The only thing that we need to do is be productive during that time, and there we go, we are okay. Now I'm going to tell you some kinds of procrastinators. As I told you in the beginning, let me know in which one do you feel like represented, or in which one do you feel like, okay, I am this one. So let's start. The anxious procrastinator. People who procrastinate a lot are usually not good at managing their time, and they end up scheduling in more work that they can actually do, leaving no time for resting or doing fun activities. So not fulfilling these unrealistic expectations causes stress and anxiety, which some people deal by procrastinating. We also have the fun procrastinator. Well, this is a really good one. The fun procrastinator would rather be doing anything but the real thing that they have to do. Anything fun but the dreaded task that they have to do. I have a friend and she's really funny, and she posts on her Instagram stories, well, in her close friend stories, like every day, and she's like, hey guys, I don't want to do this because it's not fun. I mean, I have a lot of homework, I have to read this and read that, but that's not fun, so I'm not gonna do it. Both here for what should I do? And she ends up baking a cake, taking out her dog for a walk, going to a party. She ends up hanging out with her cousins. Everything fun, but the real thing that she has to do. So she really is the fun procrastinator. After the fun procrastinator, that was the last one that I talked to you about, we have the plenty of time procrastinator. You see, this is a very famous one. This person always struggles by doing the homework late, and they are always like, I still have plenty of time, I'll do it later. And then it's later, I mean, for example, at the other day, and they keep saying, I still have plenty of time, I'll do it later. And then when the last day for delivering the homework arrives, they don't sleep, they do it in a rush, they do it so fast that some things can be bad, can be wrong answered, so it can generate problems. So the plenty of time procrastinator can be good and can be bad. And to be honest, I have to confess, sometimes I'm this kind and I have to change it because I get really stressed and I go into a crisis, and I don't like to feel in that way. So I hope you are not this kind. I hope you are the fun, because that's my favorite one. Okay, now the perfectionist procrastinator. Perfectionists are always striving for the best, and they are always criticizing their own work because they are afraid to create to create a task, to deliver something in a low standard. So they never start something. They never take the initiative because they know themselves. They are like, no, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that. So they just procrastinate a little bit longer to not start that and to not get stressed in that moment. So you see that all these kinds have the same thing in common. They don't want to feel negative emotions, and that's like the most important thing here. Like, our brain doesn't want us to feel negative emotions. And now that is what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so we have here a really nice picture. You see here procrastination. Okay, so expectations versus reality. So here you can see the blue one, the blue line, is how much stuff you have to do. Okay. And the red one is how much you procrastinate. So, okay, I have this amount of homework, so I'm going to procrastinate this one. So yeah, we have this balance. I have this homework, so I'm going to procrastinate a little bit more. We have a balance in our lives. This is what we should do. But no, we don't do it. This is what we do. The same. The blue one is how much stuff you have to do, and the red one is how much you procrastinate. So I have this amount of homework, I'm going to procrastinate this one. Why? Just because. And you are like that. You procrastinate even more than you should. And we need to change this step by step. Okay, now after this explanation of what we should do versus what we actually do, we are going to this thematic, procrastination in our brain. Okay, you are given something to do. Someone tells you, for example, someone tells me, Emily, you are going to do this. Okay. The brain assesses if the task will have a positive or negative outcome. Like, okay, the brain does this process like, okay, is this positive or it is negative? Anxiety comes, like, anxiety sets in if there is no immediate positive result. If that thing that someone tells you to do provokes anxiety, it is already a negative outcome in your brain. So, since a positive result is not immediately expected, the situation is out of control. For our brain is freaking out right now. So, subconsciously, we are afraid of the possibility or the negative result that task could provoke us. So, we feel afraid of, humiliated by, and aggressive towards the task. So basically, our brain is protecting us from negative emotions. That is the way that the brain works, and that's why we decide to procrastinate. Now, here, well, this is our brain, okay? It's animated. We all have, let me put this here, we all have an internal voice. I think you are using your internal voice right now. So that voice is like, okay, I have to do this homework, then I have to go to the grocery store, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do that. Yes, that's your internal voice. Your internal voice is right. Your internal voice is in peace, and that voice knows what you have to do. But then, your alter ego internal voice arrives. Hi guys! And tells you, what if we watch an episode of a series? And you are like, should I watch an episode? And your alter ego internal voice tells you, yeah, let's watch an episode, just one. Yeah, let's watch it. And then, let's go to sleep. And then your internal voice is like, okay, let's go. And you end up doing anything that day. So the moral of the story is never listen to your alter ego internal voice. That's the bad influence for your brain. So come on, let's just be productive and do the things that you really have to do first, and then we procrastinate all we want. Let's try not to procrastinate, or whatever, do it. Do what makes your heart sing. Be productive step by step. Relax. Don't stress yourself. Try to organize your schedules. If you say that you are going to do that task at 5, then do it at 5. I'm going to give you a tip that always helps me. I always do my homework when my cell phone has low battery. In that way, I won't feel like going to TikTok or to YouTube. I will be really focused on the homework, and I won't be feeling like, okay, I need to use my phone right now, because it is charging, so I won't touch it. Another thing that helps me is that I divide the homework, long homeworks, in 2. So I do the first part on Monday and the second part on Tuesday. In that way I feel good, and when I do the first part, I relax the rest of the time. And my brain knows it. And as my brain knows it, I'm going to finish the second part on the other day. I'm going to be relaxed, and I'm not going to feel stress or negative emotions. So now that we know what is the name of that thing that we always do and is completely normal, let's start to change it. Let's be a little bit more productive. I know we can. Let's just find motivation and relax. Let's enjoy our life. No pressures. That would be all. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope you have learned a lot, and see you in another opportunity. Bye bye.